Heyo, Packer fans, what's going on? Welcome to the Packers Trilogy podcast presented by the Wisconsin Sports Trilogy, the podcast for diehard Packer fans by diehard Packer fans. I am your host, Trevor. You can find me on Twitter at Bender_Trevor. Today, I have a new and exciting film breakdown. Well, exciting might be the wrong term. Actually, on this video, I am going to look and kind of compare contrast the defense from last year to this year and try to figure out what has happened with the D train. Where to go. It's very few and far between that we're able to mention anything close to D train. So I just wanted to take a look at that, kind of figure out what's been going on. Why haven't we seen that at all? So in 2019, I do want to look at one game in particular, and the reason being is because this really was a blowout. I think the final score actually ended up being closer than what it really was, and that's that Dallas Cowboys game from last year. But the reason I wanted to do this is because the defense early on in this game in the first half made stop after stop after stop after stop and just gave the offense, who wasn't as good as they are this year, opportunities to just hang a bunch of points on the Dallas Cowboys. And actually, the very first drive, I believe, was an interception by Jair Alexander. It was Amari Cooper was pretty wide open, just missed it off the hands, and then went right into Jair's hands for the interception. And then this is kind of where we pick up. So after that interception from Jair, the next drive, this is third down here, okay? So we're going to highlight Zadarius and Preston here. And boom, meet at the quarterback, just like we were so used to last year from these two players. They did a very good job there. Zadarius does it a little differently than Preston. Zadarius more of a bull rush, then get the tackle out of the way and get the quarterback. Preston on the other side, just a speed rush around and then meet Zadarius at the quarterback. Zadarius might get there a half step earlier, but here I want you to look at Chandon Sullivan on this first play. This is the only all-22 I have. Watch him kind of float around, being in his zone. Then you can see him. Oh, he's looking at the quarterback, and he realizes where Dak is throwing the football, and it's an interception, and it's a tough play that he made, even with the reading of the quarterback's eyes. That's not an easy play there to make that interception, but a great job by him. Lastly, I do want to mention the pass rush just a little bit. I don't think it really affects his throw at all, but it definitely makes him throw the ball. And if he'd have had another half second, he might have had Michael Gallup in the end zone there for a touchdown. Here on this next play, this is Preston Smith to get off the field. This is the very next drive after that interception. So this is third down, get off the field. And like I already mentioned, there was an interception to start the game. Then Zadarius and Preston meet at the quarterback, and then an interception by Chandon Sullivan. And now you got Preston Smith making another third down sack to get off the field. Here, next drive, first play of the drive, Dak Prescott can't even get to his check down. Can't even get to Zeke because Zadarius is there right away. And shout out Mike Pettin on this for this stunt that he runs and just completely fools that left tackle. And then Kenny, again on the other side, comes through on a little bit of a stunt as well and makes Dak get rid of the ball. And good luck if you're Dak Prescott there. And then the same drive here, and this is towards the end of the half now. I think it's under a minute left in the half. And, Mike Pettin just schemes it up, gets Adrian Amos to the quarterback, does a good job of having two guys for Zeke to block. Zeke probably picks the right guy, the guy that's a little bit more interior, but it's a lose-lose situation there. And this is to force a missed long field goal. You come out with what is essentially the next drive, right? This one is in the second half, and it's just the defense playing well together here. Kenny gets in the face of Dak, and then good play on the outside there by Jair Alexander. Moving ahead to our next play. Sorry, that was a little early. Moving ahead to our next play here. we're going to look at this year against the 49ers. You're going to watch Kenny Clark. Here, you just see him rip that guy, and I'm going to slow it down here on this next play. Just watch him rip that center completely off of him and get by him and make a little bit of pressure on Nick Mullins there. And these are the flashes. We've seen it from Za'Darius. We've seen it from Kenny on that play. But then there's plays like this. Just gets kind of bowled over. Like, he has them pushed off with one hand. But you just got to be able to go down and make the play. You can't overrun the running back so he can just cut like that and then make it too easy for the offensive lineman. It's just something I noticed this play when it happened, because I don't see Kenny Clark on the ground very often, and I noticed that one here. Montravius Adams flashing. Again, there's flashes. And this is a guy we haven't seen flashes for 3 years now. And all of a sudden he's starting to flash. And it's just like, what is going to happen? Can we please get some consistency here on this defense? Because then we would see that D train come out a little bit more. It would be 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 20, and get it opportunistic. Here was really frustrating. They only get like 3 or 4 yards on this, but he also doesn't get touched till 3 or 4 yards on the field. Kenny Clark gets blown off the ball. Ty Summers can't do anything. Jonathan Garvin was the only one that did something on that play. And it's just really, really frustrating stuff here. Tackling. This. The Packers are terrible at tackling. Tyler mentioned it in the full-length podcast over the last week or so. They're the worst tackling team in football. And here, it's just, you have to make the plays. Make the tackle. There's 3 missed tackles, and then Josh Jackson gets back on top of them. But that's already 12 yards down the field after that. Here, this is something Mike Pettin loves. 3rd and 8, right? So why not take a blitz? No, Mike Pettin's just going to send his 4, let him play off coverage. Will Redmond's got to make a better play on the football here. Just flat out, that's not a Mike Pettin. But I just don't understand the soft coverage on 3rd and 8, and it allowed them to get on basically a dump off because your team can't tackle. So you gotta make the plays. Again, tackling issues. Irv Smith, who is not a big run after the catch guy, he's a tight end. You don't expect him to do that, but just absolutely gets 10 yards after the catch when it should have been 0. Just really frustrating here. Again, we literally know what is coming. This is the end zone angle, and there's 20 people in the shot here. It's basically an all 22. There's just one guy split out. So that's like really frustrating. We know what's going to happen. Here, first play coming out of halftime, and this is what you do? It's just, sometimes it just feels like there's no fight. Kingsley Kiki's got to make that play at the line of scrimmage and just completely olays him. And it's just like, and it's something that happens far too often. Here, tackling again. Got to make the play. That's an extra 10 yards Adam Thielen gets. That's killing your drives. You get them in opportunities to get off the field, and the tackling has been a big concern that allows him to allow the other team to stay on the field. And here, this one hurts my soul. And I'm only going to play it back twice because, again, it hurts my soul. But this is some of the big issues, right? Playing off coverage, which is fine if you go up and make the tackle. But this team flat out can't make the tackle, which is concerning, yes. But at some point, Mike Pettin needs to make a change. And this is the thing that bothers me, is I think Mike Pettin, if he has the horses, and he should have, the horses that he has are pretty damn good. So I don't know where is the disconnect here, because Kenny Clark, very, very good, elite level player. Jair Alexander, elite. Za'Darius Smith, elite. Adrian Amos, Preston Smith, good players. Kevin King is a good player. There is some good players on this football team, especially and on the defense specifically here. Offensively has definitely more firepower, but defensively there's still good players on this football team, and something needs to change. These players, have to start tackling better, flat out. Definitely need to start tackling better. But Mike Pettin, I am seeing it. I am inept. I don't know defense. Like, why are you just saying, okay, 3rd and 8, 3rd down, we'll just play off coverage and go up and make the tackle. Your guys can't make the tackle. At some point, you need to change. You need to come up with something else. If anything else, go man coverage, 0 blitz, try to get after the quarterback. If they beat you that way, fine. At least you're trying to do something different. At this point, everyone knows what you're doing, so they're just going to swing it down to their playmakers in space, and they're going to make the plays because your defense can't, and you're either incapable or unwilling to change. Either way, that's not good. You have to be able to change and be willing to change, because this is something that flat out this team needs to be better at. In 3rd downs, I feel like have been a big issue, specifically in the losses. I don't think it's been an issue overall throughout the year, because there are times when they do make the play, but when they're not making the play, when they have these playmakers such as Dalvin Cook, maybe you have to change up your thought a little bit. You can't just do the same thing over and over again, because NFL offenses are going to destroy you. I wanted this to be focused more on the players, but I kind of got on a little bit of a rant there at the end. Overall, the players just need to play better. Patton needs to be better, first. Second, players just need to play better. I mentioned the guys we have: Kenny Clark, Za'Darius, Preston, Adrian Amos, Darnell Savage, Kevin King, Josh Jackson, Christian Kirksey when he's back and healthy. These guys just need to play better. They need to play up to their individual potential, and this defense will be better. This defense will be back to that D train. Jair Alexander has been great this year. We just need those other guys to come and coalesce with him, and that'll give us a chance to run in the playoffs and into hopefully a Super Bowl win. So that's something the players need to play better. Mike Pettin needs to be better. Just overall, we need to see some changes here on the defense. And if they start playing, getting some juice, this is going to be an excited team, because this offense can carry them wherever they want to go, so long as the defense isn't shooting them in the foot. So that's going to be it for me this week. Make sure you're checking out our full-length podcasts. We're going to be having a Bucks podcast out soon. Been waiting on Scott for that. Sounds like he's ready to get one out before the draft. We have a Fun Brewers podcast that we just did. It's kind of a courtroom case of should the Brewers trade Josh Hader. It's a pretty fun listen. Interesting little setup that we did, but it was a lot of fun having Matt Carroll on from Reviewing the Brew. It was a lot of fun recording that one. And lastly, make sure you're checking out the Packers full-length podcast. Howard and I just did our preview to the Jaguars. We also kind of recapped the first half of the season. So make sure you guys are checking those out at your favorite podcasting platforms, or follow us on Twitter. We post all of those on Twitter as well at trilogy_pod. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit that bell. That would really, really mean a lot to us. And until next time, go Pack Go.